Hey guys, Jeff PELIZZARO, and today we're going to talk about your back pain. So if you've ever had back pain playing golf or just on a regular daily basis, I know it's something that a lot of golfers struggle with. I've personally struggled with it myself in the past. So I'm going to give you a couple exercises that I think are very effective in just working either the trunk, the back, the glutes, the hips, all the things that contribute to not having a solid foundation to stabilize your trunk and your spine. So there's so many different things that can be involved when somebody's having back pain. So don't think that these are the end-all be-all cure, but these are some exercises that I think are great to put into anybody's routine or kind of cycle into your programs here and there. First one, and this one's primarily to really just get the spine moving and to get more fluid and blood flow and everything to the discs in between our spine. Our discs, which basically throughout the day, they start to get compressed, they lose some of the fluid that's in them, and often if you have more pain at the end of the day, that can be why you're having that discomfort, because your disc has just kind of shrunk a little bit. What we need to do is make sure that our back is moving in all directions in order to help produce more of the blood flow to those areas and basically just to keep the spine healthy. So the first one is simply to get on your stomach, lying all the way down, turn your toes in just so you can kind of relax your butt muscles a little bit. You're going to put your hands right at your shoulders, and all you're going to do is just nice and easy try to press yourself up towards the ceiling. And you're just going to do that in a nice, easy, controlled fashion. Now, this exercise, I want you to feel what it feels like. If it causes any discomfort, then I want you to obviously stop, be smart about it, like we always say. But I want you to just kind of feel the motion and see if you can get a little bit more movement throughout 10 repetitions or so. Just nice and easy. This is a great one to do several times throughout the day if you have the opportunity. Again, just to get some of that movement through your spine. You might find that you can only come up about here. What I want you to do is just progress however you can. If you have to put your hands here and you want to just start working on arching your shoulders back up that way, do just that. So take it to whatever level you can. Do not go into any painful motions. Okay, the next one, kind of a similar philosophy, is just getting the spine moving. But this one also creates a little bit more active control, using your muscles to move your body a little bit. So this one, you may have seen it before. It's called the cat and camel or cat and cow, whatever you want to call it. It's basically just taking your body through kind of a flexing motion and an extending motion. So if you look at my back, what I'm trying to do is really just kind of round everything out, even tucking my chin. And then I'm going the opposite way and extending and kind of looking up towards the ceiling. This is just the most basic way to do this. Then what you can try is working on the lower back and the upper back. So now I'm going to work on just the lower part where I'm just rounding out and then extending. The upper back is staying nice and still. You might find that this is harder than it looks. Typically, there's a little disconnect between the brain and the stomach and the low back muscles. So if you've never done this before, it might take a little while for you to really figure out the motion. And then the next one, I'm going to keep the low back pretty still. I'm going to work on trying to extend at the upper back and then round it out. And the reason for doing this is I just want to create a little bit more control in using my muscles in what it can do for the trunk. So again, the cat and camel, and then you can kind of play around with doing the upper back, lower back, all those different positions. Okay, the next one is going to be more of an abdominal exercise. I have my mat set up here. I'm next to the squat rack, and I've got a resistance band tied up to the squat rack, to the squat rack here. I'm just going to lie on my back, and I'm going to use the band as a little resistance. The reason I'm doing this one is our abdominal muscles wrap all the way around our trunk. So by tightening up the abdominal muscles, teaching a little more control there, you're just going to create a bracing effect on the spine, which is really one of the most important things that you can do in order to improve the health of your spine. So this, you're just going to take the band to whatever resistance level you can tolerate and you can handle. So I've got the band here, and that's just automatically turning on my abdominal muscles here. So nice and tight here. Then what I'm going to do is take a nice deep breath in, and I'm going to blow it out as hard as I can to really lock everything down there. And then I'm just going to bring my knees up, keeping my stomach as tight as I can, keeping my back nice and flat, and I'm working on keeping my pelvis in the same spot. And then all I'm going to do is just a little bit of a heel tap, keeping everything else nice and still. I can feel my trunk shaking because of the tension that's in there and the effort being put through the abdominal muscles to hold the spine still, to keep the stomach flat while the knees are moving. So again, that bracing, that breathing out is really, really important there. And then another kind of adaptation you can make on this one is same thing. Got the resistance bands. Breathing out, but this time I got my legs straight. And now I'm just going to try to raise this leg as high as I can go and come back down. You could alternate, or you could just do one at a time. And what I'm doing here is I'm getting a little stretch in the hamstrings. I'm really working the abdominal muscles. And so I'm teaching my body how to stabilize, but also creating a little bit of a lengthening effect on the hamstrings. Then if you're ready for it and you want to make this a lot harder, you can keep the bottom leg up, and then you can do more of your traditional leg lift. But that's a very high level exercise. So I definitely would not start there. Okay, last one. We're going to do a traditional, well, I don't know if you can call this traditional, but definitely going to strengthen the low back. We're going to hit the glutes. We're going to hit the abs on this next one. All you need is a bench. You could do this on your couch. You could do it on a box. I'm just going to get on the bench, resting my head, resting my shoulders. I've just got my arms on the bench too, elbows on the bench. And what I'm doing is I'm squeezing my glutes to come up into a nice tabletop position. So everything's nice and tight. I've tightened up my abdominal muscles, and then it gets hard as you raise one leg up, pause for a second. So I'm really working on this glute, and I can feel it in my low back, and then alternate. Pushing through the heel on the foot that's down, squeezing from the glute, keeping the trunk tight, just alternating back and forth there. Then to get out of this position, easiest way is just go all the way down, sit on the ground, and go from there. So those are just a few different exercises that you may not have come across yet that I find to be very helpful when working with clients, when working with myself in regards to preventing back pain or helping to alleviate back pain by strengthening the hips, the glutes, the abs, and all of the above. All right, if these videos are helping, be sure to subscribe to the 18 Strong YouTube channel. Check out all the ways you can follow us below in the description. Train hard, practice smart, play better golf.